Good morning. It's Sunday morning. Yes, Sunday. Oh man, the scale was good to me yesterday. You know, when you're always looking back at how the trends go, up, down, up, down, up, down. In my mind, yesterday was going to be an up week because the previous week was a down week, right? So I go and I step on the scale yesterday and I see I'm down 1.4 and I do the math and figure out that I am officially 3.2 pounds away from the goal, the 200-pound weight loss goal. 3.2 pounds away, and I'll be able to say that I'm 200 pounds down, and the goal that I made in 2019 when I started on my first day was to lose 200 pounds and reevaluate my life will have been achieved just about 7 years in. And it's all kinds of exciting, but at the same time, you have to rein it in quickly and get to work. And the closer you get, and maybe the experience of all the other goals, the milestone goals that have happened in between all this, maybe they have helped me to, be able to so easily curb my emotion in these cases, because in the end, losing yesterday is still not the goal. Losing, if I lose next week too, is still not the goal. Whatever it is, until it's the goal, it's not the goal, right? And so it kind of has to, you kind of have to be able to rein it in and get back to work. Just the same way as you have to be able to rein it in and get back to work when you don't like the result. If it goes up and you don't like that result, we tend to spend a lot of time commiserating over the result. And what you're doing when you're commiserating is you're not concentrating on the work that needs to be done. Because you're too busy, whether you're venting to someone or talking about whatever you're doing. You have to be able to get back to work. And maybe it's the experience of all the other milestones I had achieved in this process that helped me, or maybe it's just my mental capacity to be able to just turn it off. But it is definitely for sure exciting to know that I'm 3.2 pounds away from a goal I essentially set just about 7 years ago at this point. Getting back to work is very important. I had so much, what I noticed, and I'm pretty proud of this. So I'm going to go talk about a non-scale victory, which you rarely hear me talk about. I don't really take much consideration for non-scale victories because I feel like a lot of the time you can make up anything and call it a non-scale victory. It doesn't have to be real. But yesterday I noticed something, anybody who's been following me any amount of time knows that I love Christmas, right? And the amount of work that goes into decorating my home for Christmas is very, meticulous, and there's a lot of lifting involved. There's physical labor and all this stuff involved too. The outside is not nearly as intricate as in the inside. So the inside has very, very intricate details that put it this way, I have spent, probably 12 hours of the weekend just doing the Christmas village, right? 12 to 16 hours of the weekend just to be able to say, okay, I'm officially done with the Christmas village, right? So, that's like a, two full 8-hour days, right? In some cases. But outside is a little less detailed, but the outside has a lot of heavy lifting involved, and it takes just much more physical labor. And yesterday I had in my mind what I would need to get done, like what I would say in order to say Yet, yesterday was like, this is the plan. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. We'll call it quits. We'll go inside. And then on Sunday, we'll do this, this, and this, whatever. And that was the idea. But I had gotten so much more done, so much more quickly. Look, I literally can only do this stuff on weekends, right? So however much work I put in, I have to wait until the next weekend to do really anything else, especially when you talk about being outside, because after work I go for a walk, and I'm not skipping walks to do this, right? So to be able, yesterday, I had gotten whatever I had gotten planned to get done, and I'm just like, all right, well, let's do this too. All right, well, let's do that too. And it was so much more that I got so much more done yesterday than I didn't even expect to do this weekend, period, right? I got so much done yesterday that I don't really have to do anything today in reality to keep going, because I did way more than I had planned for the entire weekend, right? Now, if it wasn't for all of the joint pain that I feel this morning, and really it took some real convincing of myself to say, do you really, maybe you need to take a rest day today and not walk. But I said, you know what, I'll shorten my walk and I'll just take my time with it. And that's essentially what I did today. So instead of, the typical weekend walk being between 6 and 8 miles, today's walk is going to end up being like 4 to 5. And it's a very leisurely pace. There's nothing strenuous about this. And when I left the house, I certainly had joint pain, some hip, some knee stuff, a little bit of back, but not too bad. But as I'm ending my walk here and I'm about to go home, I noticed that there's very little pain at all. So it's like when Leslie Sansone's talking about juicing the joints. This kind of activity makes things feel better, makes those joints feel better. But I got the fact that I got so much done yesterday. I ended yesterday like I was, like when I talked to you guys and the walk video yesterday, I said if you could end every day saying I checked this box, I checked that box, like tracking, weighing, measuring my food and moving. If I could check those if I could say I check those boxes every day, you won for the day, even if it's inaccurate. Because those behaviors alone, accuracy can always be edited. It could always be worked on. The fact that you did them is more important than the accuracy in the very beginning. At some point, the accuracy needs to be updated when you can consistently say you have done this for, you're consistently doing something, right? But to be able to say that I did all of this on top of that, at the end of the day, yes, I could say yes to those boxes. I checked, I made a measure, I moved, whatever. I could say yes to all those boxes. But then I had all these other boxes yesterday. I had, did you set up the net lights? Did you set up this? Did you set up that? And it was like check, 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 check. And it just felt, I sat back and relaxed and said, man, this would have taken, I would be in so much more pain, say, even 3 years ago or 4 years ago, so much more pain from the work involved. And as I sit here 3.2 pounds away from my goal, I'm sitting here having dreams of what else can I do to my house? How far physically can I push myself, right? Because, there's certain things I've always wanted to do, like, the upper level of my home to, put lights on the trim and stuff like that. Stuff that require a really tall ladder. But part of me is like, oh man, if I did all this in one day, how much more can I do? And I'm sure my wife right now is probably going to watch this video and think, no, you're not doing much more than you do. I think that I would be a very dangerous person with unlimited funds of what I would do with Christmas lights. But yes, it was definitely a non-scale victory, to say the least, of being able to say, I got all of this done. So it's Sunday, it's the Lord's Day, it's family day. Whatever you're doing today, enjoy your family, enjoy your worship, enjoy some football, but most of all, enjoy your Sunday. I love each and every one of you. God bless you all.